Hello everyone, my name is Shonda and welcome to my channel Under the Needle. So I'm here today with a little mini haul. So I thought I was done with all of my fabric shopping. I did a huge haul video last week, but what had happened was fabric.com had a sale and they were doing 50% off of free pre-cuts, and they were also they also had a coupon. I think it was 20% off. And for some of the items, you could stack the coupon with the 50% off. So I got a couple of things. So here's one of the things that I purchased. This is a Kaffe layer cake. No pinked edges. So that was nice. No pinked edges. This layer cake was $21.49. Now I was not able to hold on, it's a little too dark. It's a little too dark. So I was not able to use the coupon on this particular layer cake, but at $21.49, I felt pretty good about it. Now I'm sure, I know I probably have some of these prints already, because I do have some Kaffe fabric, and some of these prints do look a little familiar to me. I'm not really trying to show you all of them, but it's just a really pretty layer cake. Really summery, really bright, really springy. I like it. And that's kind of where I like to land on a layer cake. I like to be in that $20 range. I don't like to pay more than $25 for a layer cake, and usually I don't. So got this layer cake. Also, I picked up this fat quarter bundle of solids. These are Riley Blake. These are Riley Blake solids. So I picked this up. This was on sale for $27.50, or I think $27.49. And then by the time I stacked the coupon, it ended up being $22. So I have 22 fat quarters for $22. That's $1 per fat quarter, which is a really good deal, really good bargain for me. And that's kind of, how I like to shop. In general, I like to spend $1.50 to $2 per fat quarter, but I do realize that prices are increasing, and sometimes if I want a newer line, I might have to pay up to $2.50, and so I will do that sometimes, but this is where I like to be. And I do have in my my quilt retirement wish list, one of the things that I want to make is a postcard from Sweden quilt, and that uses solid fat quarters. And I figured that that Sew Sampler box that we got a while back, that some folks weren't like exactly thrilled about. Even I wasn't exactly thrilled about it, but that had some fat quarters in it as well. And these are Kona, and these are Riley Blake. So I figure with this and this, I pretty much have almost what I need to do that quilt one day in the future. I'm going to have to live for a really long time. Like, I'm probably going to have to live till I'm 90 in order to make all the quilts that I want to make and use up all of my stash. So kiss it up to God. I need to live till I'm 90 so that I can make all the quilts that I want to make. So this, $22, 22 fat quarters. So another thing that I picked up was this Batik fat quarter bundle. It's called Make a Splash. Artisan Batiks Make a Splash by Lund Studios for Robert Kaufman. This is 15 fat quarters. And they're pretty much all like this. So you have kind of like a mottled base with all these like kind of it looks like paint splatters, really. I try to show you some of the prints. So here we have kind of like these two. This more brown. This is like more gray, black, and brown. We have this blue with, you know, little hints of purple. This darker blue with hints of lighter blue. This kind of black with brown. Blue with kind of different pinks. Some different blues here. Oh, that's a pretty one. You know, I love the turquoises and the teals. So this was 50% off. Plus I was able to stack the coupon. So this was $18 for 15 fat quarters. That is a good deal, ladies and gentlemen, especially because these are batiks. So $18 for 15 fat quarters, batik. I was sold. I was all in. Like, this is how this happened. Like, I had no intention of purchasing any fabric, but when I can get it this cheaply, sometimes I really can't help myself. And the last item that I got was just some solid. This is Riley Blake solid white. This is a 3-yard cut, and it was I think it was like $19.48, and then I was able to use the 20% off coupon that Fabric.com had offered at the time. So this was $15.58 for a 3-yard cut, which breaks down to $5.19 a yard. I think that's a pretty good deal. So that's kind of what I picked up from Fabric.com. I'm not really trying to buy any fabric, but I do understand that the 4th of July is coming up, and I don't know what sales or deals might be out there. So I could end up picking some additional fabric up if there are some really good deals and really good sales. I do have a lot going on that weekend, so it might be a situation where I just don't have time to shop. I'm sorry. I just lied. There's always time to shop for fabric because we have phones. So no matter how busy you are, you usually have time. See? Okay. So now I'm giving away too much information. So I don't know. You probably can't see this, but I had been binge watching Law and Order. Okay. I've been watching Law and Order for years. Okay, well, not watching because this is the original Law and Order, so it's been off the air for years. But I didn't start watching it when it first aired, but probably within the first, maybe season 4, I probably started watching it. And like during the day, I kind of like to watch stuff, but I like to watch stuff that I don't have to give my undivided attention to. So like I love Ozark, but when you watch Ozark, you have to pay attention to Ozark. There's a lot going on. So you can't just multitask and watch Ozark because you have to pay attention. So I like TV shows that I can watch and not have to give my undivided attention. And Law and Order is one of those. Primarily because most of them I've already seen multiple times to where when it airs, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Another one that I like to binge watch is Murder, She Wrote. I remember when Murder, She Wrote first like aired on TV, and my grandmother used to watch it. And I thought it was insufferable. Like, I had no desire to watch friggin' Murder, She Wrote. Like, none. No desire. None. But then at some point, maybe... Well, my oldest daughter she's about to turn 25 on Saturday. So at some point, maybe 20 years ago, Murder, She Wrote was on TV. And this is before we had Netflix, before we had streaming. It was just on cable somewhere. And I started watching it. And I was like, you know what, this is pretty decent. And so I watched it and, watched a lot of it. And then when we got streaming, at some point I was like, oh, Murder, She Wrote. Yeah. So I went back and I watched it from the beginning and I just fell in love with Angela Lansbury and her portrayal of this character, right? Because we're talking about, like, when you really think back to the time, this was in the 80s, this show came out, it was pretty progressive. Because here we have a woman who is widowed, and although she seems old for the 80s, she's not old for now. I mean, nobody ever tells you how old Jessica Fletcher was, but my gut tells me she was kind of like in her late 50s. And maybe that was old in the 80s, but it's certainly not old today. And she was out in these streets living her best life. Like, she wrote a book. First of all, she was just living a plain old life in Maine with her husband, just happy, simple life, simple, modest life. And then her husband passes away and she writes a book. And her nephew Grady sends it to a publisher. It gets picked up. And then all of a sudden, she's wealthy. She's got money and she can travel and she's going to all these exotic places and lands and meeting all these people. And the men, she got some action. I mean, if you go back and watch, she got a lot of male interest, She didn't take them up on it, but she got a lot of male interest. So, I really enjoy watching it. She's intelligent. Just all of that. Anyway, so that's another one I binge watch. And another one that I watch a lot is Columbo. Because with Columbo, it's kind of different from everything else. Most shows, like, you don't know who the killer is. And you have to watch the show to find out who's the murderer. But with Columbo, like, in the first 5 minutes, who killed who. And then you get to watch Columbo figure out why. So it's a really easy show to watch because it's not a whodunit. We know who done it. Now let's watch Columbo figure out who done it. Not figure out. Watch him prove who done it. So that's another one that I like to watch. But I kind of rotate, like I kind of go through things, different shows and stuff like that. Just, whatever. I binged watch Burn Notice. It's like when I start watching something, then I really don't watch anything else. So sometimes I get on a YouTube kick and I might be on a specific person's channel and I might like binge watch that channel. And then sometimes it's a series. But I digress because this is a haul video and here I am talking about Netflix and my binge watching habits. Sorry, guys. But that's all I have for today. Like, comment, subscribe if you like my content, and I will see you next video.